Prevention is better than cure. Those are wise words for someone who owns a car. It'll help you to prevent any issues with your vehicle and having it not having to be cured by a mechanic. There's a lot of issues that people don't really realize of their cars because they don't pay attention to the small things on their dashboards. They just pay attention to the speedometer. But the engine warning lights are there for you to help you, not to distract you. You should always make sure to address them before you go out on a drive, not while you're driving, unless it pops up then. But there are the main the most important feature of the lights are the colors. The red colors are those that are like really, really dangerous. Those should be a red alarm in your mind saying like this needs to be fixed ASAP. Like you should not be driving your vehicle because it could be a big issue. Now the yellow ones are something like more like of a warning, trying to tell you that there's an issue going on in your vehicle and you should try to solve it. That you can drive it, but like you shouldn't. So you should take it to a professional like a mechanic unless it's something like that you can fix yourself. Now the yellow one, now the blue lights are more for like letting you know that there's something on, like something is operating, and also the green lights. The the lights can be like the high beams, the low beams, and minor stuff like that that you should not be worried about. But the common lights that pop up are like the one on the left, which are your engine temperature is too high, so it's overheating, and that can be a cause of not enough radiator fluid. And then the one on the right is your low pressure tire. That just means that one of your lights may not have air. And this is the low oil pressure. That means that you do not have either enough oil or there's probably something wrong with the sensor. But an oil change probably like would help that, and also not only changing the oil but the filter. And then the one on the left would be the traction control, which means that it's activated, and that's just to stabilize like whenever your wheels are spinning, whether it could be under rain. And then the one on the right is the check engine light, which is that's really just hard to tell. You'd have to like probably use a tuner, which you can get at AutoZone. And then to maintain your car, you always want to make sure you have oil. Is one of the top fluids that you want to put in your vehicle. So in order to lubricate the internal engine parts, and you want to do that like every 3,000 miles. And then another one is the radiator fluid. Without that, that's like how your engine overheats, and you want to refill that up. Make sure you don't have no leakage in your radiator or in your head gaskets, which could be another issue. And you also want to add power steering fluid in order to not to be able to turn smoothly, and your power steering is lubricated also. But you can get these in AutoZone, and you should be able to swap that one out yourself. And the next one is the brake fluid, which it it really helps out a lot since it helps you stop in order to not crash, and without it you'd have to really put a lot of force on your brake. And then you also want to make sure you swap your transmission fluid, make sure it's all up to date in order for it not to spin and then make the gears rub on each other the wrong way, and it'll cause for you to have to either take it to a mechanic to fix it or have to buy a whole new one, or maybe if you have a dealership or warranty. And then your windshield wiper fluid is another thing that you can add like whenever you run out, because when you use your windshield wiper fluid is whenever you use the windshield wiper, like let's say it's a rainy day and then you just like turn it on to use it, so then like over time it'll run out. Then the AC is something else that you can refill. And then in order to find these to where to put all these seven fluids, you can check your owner's manual, which would like directly like show you a little image maybe, or you'd have to read a description, or you can just go right under the engine bay and look for the caps and like or the labels, and you should be able to check pretty easily. And something that your dashboard doesn't tell you about warning signs, or that you have to check up on, like make sure you always go around your car and check up on it, would be like the tire thread, like, because without that you'd really be in danger, and it could increase the possibility of your tire popping. There's if you're not sure like whether you need new tires or not, there's a penny test, which this image is a visual representation of it. But the less the penny shows, the better. But if it's like already like almost the whole penny being shown, that means your tires are really going bald, and you really should get new ones. And another thing that your car doesn't tell you about with warning signs is your lights. Like, you not necessarily like that there's one out, but the housing, like it could become dirty over time. You want to make sure you clean it out. If it's like an interior issue where it's like all scraped up and old, then you might want to get new ones. And another thing is the cracks and chips on your windshield. They can distract you, and it's better to fix them quickly in order for it not to become worse. And then like a chip and a bullseye can become a whole crack. So you don't want to you don't want to have to deal with that. You can just get a quick, easy repair by a professional. And all these tips should help you in order for you not to become this guy in this picture, being broken down in the middle of nowhere. And you should be prepared, and you should be less likely to have to be broken down. And make sure to prevent instead of cure.